Hello. It's been a while since I've done some programming practice, so I feel like that's in order today. Feeling a little rusty, but we're here. We're ready to shake the rust off a little bit. So I figured I'd also try the streaming on. Ooh, background music loud. Okay, let's adjust that. Thank you all. How's that? A little bit better? Better. Okay, good. Fantastic. Cool. I also realized that I am blocking my my chat scuff stream. Bring that up just a tad. Okay. Better, closer, warmer. Either way, figured I'd try streaming on YouTube for a little bit. They've got the AV1 codec, makes it higher quality stream at more efficiently, and then I can use my graphics card properly. Yeah, seeing as how I have the week off, figured I'd chill a little bit, do some practice, because I've been feeling a little rusty on my programming. So let's drill in some fundamentals here. Let's get a little bit of the kata, the regular practice there. I think it'll be good for me. Let's not that you're counting or anything. It's gonna be a good trip for you, my friend. It's gonna be good. Let's see, what do we want here? Let's go. You know what? I'm feeling a lo-fi today. We're gonna keep it chill. Ah, you'll get good. Hey, Spotify. Wanna sort yourself out? No, it does not. Every once in a while, Spotify's like, lol, nope, we're not gonna listen to you. Alright, take care, my friend. We will see you around. If I don't talk to you before you go, enjoy your trip. Okay, let's address the Spotify problem. Spotify be buggy, apparently. It does that to me every once in a while. Here. Okay, reset. We are all set here. Let's get going. Yeah, I wanted to get a little bit of the rust off on the Java front. Let's do that. Starting off with some basic simple stuff here. So the lower the number on the queue here, the more difficult it is. So there's a bus moving in the city which takes and drops some people off. Takes and drops some people at each bus stop. You're provided with a list of integer pairs. Each elements of each pair represent the number of people that get on the bus and the number of people that get off the bus. Your task is to return the number of people who are still on the bus after the last bus stop, after the last array. Even though it is the last bus stop, the bus might not be empty and some people might still be on the bus. They're probably Mind that test cases ensure that the number of people in the bus is always 0, so the return integer can't be negative. Second value in the first pair is already 0 since the bus is empty. Okay. So seeing as how there's no like limit to the size of the bus here, so I guess there's a couple different ways of doing this. One is we could iterate over each one and kind of count them up and subtract and add and subtract. If we ever needed to build in something like upper and lower limits, so some people didn't catch the bus, then that would be a good approach to take. However, given that it doesn't say that there's any sort of limit to the size of the bus here, we could just add up all the values in the first index, add up all the values in the second index and subtract one from the other. Does that save some math operations? I don't know. Maybe not. Either way, it's in an array list, so we can use Java streams. We need, oops. Of course, I have it from being on the Mac. There we are. So we can map this to a, we're using Java 17, so we got quite a bit available here. Stop, and this will be stop 0 minus stop 1, so that'll give us the delta. So that'll be how many people are getting on versus how many people are getting off. So in this case, we look at our test case. Ten people got on and 0 people got off, so the result there would be 10. 3 minus 5, so we get a delta of -2. 2 minus 5, they give us a delta of -3. So this first step gives us deltas. And then we can, because this isn't an int stream, but we can do a collection. There's sum them all up. I think summing int stream.sum. There we are. So we should be able to do that. Yeah, map to int. In fact, now that we have an integer here, we might just be able to run sum. Let's see if it lets me do that. Make sure we actually have a... Does it accept it? It does not accept it. Okay. Stream of integer doesn't know how to handle that. Okay, but we do have map to int and then sum. And it was integer.int value. We can do the reduction. I like this one. This is nice and short. Now, it doesn't know about arithmetic utils. That is in... this is Apache Commons. I don't want to bring in Apache Commons, so we're not going to do that. It would be nicer though. We can use the map to int.sum. So nothing in here we need to do any sort of crazy imports for. It's all basically the same. And there we are. So I could have actually saved the map there because I had one map. Does it show my solution? I'd really like to see the solution that I submitted there. That would have been nice to be able to see that. So yeah, if we wanted to do this again, now that we've seen some of those. Vim mode, there we are. It's my Vimium extension. Okay, so return stops dot stream dot map to int. That's a shorter version of that. So I don't have to go through the map more than once. I can simply go through it. Do it, or I only have to do it once. I don't have to do it more than once. So that's just saving an iteration there. It is going to be more efficient to do that. I don't know if I would consider this necessarily clever. I guess it is. It is still falls within best practices there. This is another way of doing it. This is kind of a less streamy, or it does involve streams. We could do this. Is effectively doing the same thing. This is a little bit clearer, which is a little bit simpler to be able to kind of figure out exactly what's going on and use the traditional for loop. Okay. What do we got here? In a factory, a printer prints labels for boxes. For one kind of boxes, the printer has to use colors which, for the sake of simplicity, are named with the letters A to M. Okay, so A to M represent colors. Colors used by the printer are recorded in a control string. For example, a good control string would be A, B. Okay, so everything in there is A to M. Uses 3 times color A, 4 times color B. Okay. Sometimes there are problems, lack of colors, technical malfunction, and a bad control string. So X is not within there. Same with W. Given the return, the error rate as a string represent numerator is the number of errors. The denominator is the length of the control string. Okay. Okay, so at the end is the simple one. We can go, let's get the error count first. So int error count equals, I think I can do split like so. Let's just double check 7 string. Just check the Java doc really quickly. Split is here. We do get a string array, so we can work with that. That's probably the lines would have been, is there a chars? There's, oh yeah, here we are. There's an int stream of chars. So that's going to be more efficient here. That's an int stream. Okay, so we want a character that is less than A or it's greater than M. I think we can just do count. We're just gonna provide a null value to start here. Actually, we can just go just to see what the output is. Possible lossy conversion from long to end. Okay, so the count is actually a long value. And because I'm lazy, we're just going to do that. We did get the 3 out. Okay, good. So it is counting up the errors correctly. And s.length, I think, is the string length. There we are. Okay, so we could do this. We could do this standard string concatenation. We could also go string dot format. Which is a little bit cleaner. But is, I think, slightly less efficient. I'm pretty happy with that. This is a Java 17-ism, I think. I don't think that existed earlier on. Does it say? Oh, Java 9. Okay, I take that back. How's it going, my friend? You're having fun at work? That's an interesting way of doing it. I don't... How do I feel about that? It uses a regular expression, so that's going to be like a little bit less efficient. I don't like this approach here because it only caps one side. It doesn't cap the other side, and you could have non-printing characters, so I think that's a gap in the tests that were run there. There we are. Okay, so this one actually implements both of them. Yeah, I think that these ones are technically invalid, but essentially what I was doing here, I just with the whole A to M. Oh dear. Again, this is assuming just alpha characters. Not super robust, kind of funny, but boy, is that inefficient. That is real inefficient. Not crazy about that. Let's increase the skill level here a little bit. I've been doing some... Oh, you know what? We're getting into 6Q ones here. We're starting to ramp up the difficulty just a tad here. Given an array list, are you giving an array of strings and integer k? Your task is to return the first longest string consisting of k consecutive characters taken in the array. Given an array list of strings and integers, first longest string consisting of k consecutive strings taken in the array. Gotcha. Okay, so we need to concatenate these together. If it's 2. We want to return the first one. Okay, how do we do this efficiently? I'm trying to think of a way we can do this with streams. Okay, so what are our options here? We want to get a representation of the length of these without kind of doing the end concatenation. Then we can just do the number. We can do the number sorting afterwards. So let's just start with int array lengths equals new int and I'm gonna want So as we're going through this, we need to, if we're going to iterate over it, we need to make sure that we don't extend past the length of that array. So by, we can do another for loop here. Minus k. And then we do a greater than or equal to at that point. Because if we do -1, then we would never get to the last entry there. So now we need something outside of the loop here. Int max length equals 0, int max index equals 0. Negative, yeah, you can. Yeah, that's fine. If oh, and I need some sort of way of summing up these values here. Because it's not just adding 2 together. It could be 3 or 5 or whatever it is. Length sum this should be we need a starting int start. And how do we do this? Let's leave this as 0. So we want to make sure we don't overflow the array, and I is less than the length. we're going to add on to lengths start plus I. I feel like there's a better way of doing that. I'm not crazy about that. That feels bad. So if the max length is less than length sum, our starting point and we should actually break this out so we don't have to do this more than once. Length equals current. And so what we care about is the resulting string. So let's just add this on here. String. Java.util.string builder. I think it's in Java util. Index. I want to make sure it is max index plus k. Then output as a string. I'm not sure about that last part there. Again, there's far too many for loops in this for my liking. This feels nasty. String builder. Oh, it is in Java line. I don't need an import for it. I did get it wrong the first one here. We were expecting Abigail Theta, and we returned Zone Abigail. Qua. Okay, max equals, let's just do string.format, max equals that, current equals that. Just to see what the output is. That feels too long. I've got some off by one problem here. Because that should be 4 plus 7, so that should be 11 for this first one. And 11 plus 5, so that's 15. So it's adding up one additional one here. There's a problem there. Okay, don't overflow. Yeah, that's correct. Oh, 0, 1. Well, it goes 2, so that should be okay, right? Okay, so let's think about this beginning one here. So we've got a list of lengths. I is 0. This is going to be, let's just say it's 10. So 0 is less than the passed in length, which should be 2. I am passing in that length there. I'm passing in a starting index that's always I. So why is my current not changing either? Because these should... That should be... Okay, that would not be current. But that's 8 plus 5 is 13. Say, okay, so this length sum has a problem in it. Okay. For int I equals 0, so we're just starting off. Make sure we don't overflow, so we don't care about that, and then we care about counting up. So 0 will run, 1 will run, 2 will not. So we'll add 2 entries to that. We're incrementing that, that's fine. We're adding the starting index, which would be like 0 or 1 or 2, plus the current offset of this. And then returning that result. So that, I think, is fine. It's not acting like it. Boy, I wish I had a debugger for this. Okay. Let's see. System.out.println. Let's just see if we can get the full array here. Nope. Do we have access to array? Yes, I can do arrays.toString. Fantastic. I do want to see what the contents of this are. Make sure. Oh yeah, this is total. Oh, I'm an idiot. Everything else is fine. There. And because it's a string, it's a method on length, not a property. So we at least got output from this time. That makes sense. 4 plus 7, that's 11. That makes sense. We did get an index out of bounds. This is... Oh, because if I have 0, we should return. So we need an edge case for that. If equals 0, return an empty string. So I'll put some protection in place there for illogical values, and this should really be less than or equal to 0. Line 32 has got a problem. Thank you very much for the follow. Or the sub, I guess, is what it is in on YouTube. I get confused. Oh yeah, it's subscribers and members is the equivalent of followers and subs on Twitch. Let's see that for some reason on the chat overlay, it didn't show the lurk message there. I don't know why. I type something. Does it show up? Or is the overlay just broken? The overlay's just broken. Got it. Let's see if we can refresh that. Oh, no, the test went through. Oh, yes. Oh, anything that's got the exclamation point in front doesn't show up in chat. I suppose that's fair. Okay, let's, I don't know which of these tests failed because they grouped them all together. Shame on them. Let's see, this is a 5 index one. Oh, 15. There we are. So somewhere, it was like line 32. We didn't actually put the protection in here for, and length. There we are. Okay, so that provides against some out of bounds protection there. Now, what do they say if it extends out? N being the length of the strength array, if N is 0, or K is greater than N, or K is greater than 0. Okay, so we've got a couple of extra protections in place here that we need to do. The length check here we might not need to do anything for. If K equals... oh yeah. 0 or... So that corresponds with those 3 conditions that they added there. Oh, no. Wrong way around. Okay. I still don't like this. How could we... Let's just see if there's other tests here and see how they handle. Everything passes there. How could we improve this? Because this isn't great. This could be a stream. We could improve this. Map this to string length. Is it as list? Can't remember if as list you couldn't find to list. Okay, let's take a look at the to array or something like that. We have a stream to array. Oh, okay, I can literally do a to array. Now, I don't know if it'll take this. Yeah, it's figured it would get a little angry about that. What do we got here? What do we got? Java stream to array. Out of arrays. Here we are. So we can map to int and go to array. Map to int may require a parameter. It does. Oh. There we are. Okay, so we're taking this length. We're taking, okay, let's think this through before we start spamming stuff. So we've got arrays, we got a stream. We take the string array, which converts it into a string. We're gonna map each of those to a integer value by getting the length of each string, because we're getting each string element as the as the input to that. Okay, so that improves that a little bit. I feel a little bit better about the output of that. We don't need this debug statement here. This feels not great, but I don't have a better option for it at this point. I am curious to see what other people come up with. We can refine this one as well. We can try it a few more times. Okay, so they're doing roughly what I was doing. They're just building out each string each time. This feels like a little bit less efficient. That's an interesting way of doing it. That's clever. Okay, so they take an integer stream, building out the length that's the available length to iterate over. And this arrays.stream essentially takes a substream of the string array using a joining collector. That's very clever. That's kind of hard to understand, but very clever. Okay, so I don't feel too bad about my option there. I really like this stream approach here where you're doing that. That's clean, very functional. Okay, given an array, count the smiley faces. Given an array as an argument complete, the function count smileys that should return the total number of smiling faces. Rules for a smiling face. Each smiley face must contain a pair of eyes. A smiley face can have a nose, but it does not have to. Every smiling face must have a smiling mouth. One of those. Okay, so I'm expecting a regular expression here. Okay. Let's grab these examples here. As regexer is our friend for this. There's 2 in that. That should give me enough to work with here. So we expect the beginning to be either colon or semicolon. Then we've got the literal hyphen character, which may exist. And then we've got either D or a parenthesis. We would need to flip this to multi-line for now. So I'm doing that. Oh, and the nose could be 2 values, hyphen or tilde. There we are. Okay. We need to compile a pattern with those values in it. Let's just make sure that that works for us. Couldn't find pattern. You have a util regex. Java util regex pattern. Let's at least make sure that we get this code compiling is not going to return any valid values, which it does not. And then we can use our good friend streams. Return stream.filter. And we can say pattern matches dot count, I think should do it. Okay. Okay, so we want to return values only if it matches that regular expression. I'm missing a... We're just going to say dot int value, and I'll accept the possible loss. We also need a $sign at the end of that comparison. Oh, come on. Why is it being difficult? Okay. Method matches in class pattern cannot be applied to given types. Expects a string in a character sequence, and I gave it a string. Oh. Let's take a look and see if there's a way of not needing a matches here. It's not... I suppose I could use this. Here we are. Pattern.matches, and it's a static boolean, and it takes the regular expression and takes the input. That would be a better way of doing this. So pattern.matches, yoink that. I don't need this pattern being declared there. Okay, long cannot be dereferenced. Let's get into the stream package here. Let's see, tree. I really do not like the documentation is a little rough here. It's java.util.stream, right? Here we are. And I can bump this up to Java 17, so we're actually looking at the right docs. This would be in the base packages. util.stream. Here we are. Count. Long count. Terminal operation, that makes sense. So it map to long.sum is effectively what it's doing. So we could actually do that in order to get the int equivalent out of it. If it is capable of computing the count directly from the stream source, in which case no source elements. Summary statistics. Still returns I can count in long format. I don't want it to do that. Okay. Well, we're going to take the lazy approach here. We're going to go a map to int sum. Feels a little cumbersome, but it's okay. We can roll with it. I'm still pretty happy with that. We're using a regular expression for this. It's pretty simple. We're not overexerting the regular expression stuff. Oh, I suppose I could have just done the blind cast. That also would have worked. This is a very brute force way of doing it. It's possibly more efficient. I don't know. I don't know if it would be. Is it best practices? No, definitely not. I never thought about doing the blind cast. This is effectively what I was doing here. Oh, x.matches. Didn't even need to do pattern.matches as a constant. This is a very enterprisey way of doing it, breaking everything out very simply like that. Let's retry that. Okay. Return r.stream .filter. Okay. Beginning of a character. We need either colon or semicolon. We need the nose, possibly, which is either a hyphen or a tilde, and that should only be 0 or 1 times. And then we need either a parenthesis or a capital D followed by $sign. And we're just going to blindly cast the result there and accept the loss of accuracy. Much cleaner. I'm happy with that. Way fucking better. Okay. RGB to hex conversion. Okay. The RGB function is incomplete. Complete it so that passing in RGB decimal values will result in a hexadecimal representation being returned. Round to the nearest closest valid value. It's not even really rounding. It's really just like max it out. So if you put in 500 or something like that. You just truncate it down. So we can do this with string.format. We just need to update each of these values here. So math.min, so either that value or 255. There we are. Static int so we want to just extract this out into a helper method because it's going to come up an awful lot. Well, it's going to come up 3 times. Don't duplicate our code. Gonna do a mass replace on all the R's, but that's not accurate. Okay. Return string.format. So it is 02x, I think is what it is. So the 0 should enforce the leading value, or the leading 0. The 2 should be the length of the output, and then the x should be lowercase. We may need to make these uppercase. I think that gets us pretty close. Oh, look at that. So, enforcing the bound, string.format, x represents hexadecimal. Percent is the marker for it. Leading 0 enforces the 2 length for actually being present. Cool. Let's see how we did for these other ones. Okay. Essentially what I did, except I just I used the math.min and math.max. This is an interesting choice here for this verify. I'm surprised they wouldn't have done, if you're doing math.min already, why not just use math.max? Cool, that's another way of using streams for this. I probably would have rolled those maps together. I don't know. That's probably okay. Okay, very blunt way of doing it. Byte to hex string, okay. Manual way of doing it, not using string.format. I'm actually quite okay with the approach that I took here. This 2 uppercase here shouldn't be required. That's because there's a lowercase x here. There's no need for that. There was char at G. Okay, so implementing the hex format manually. Bad, not bad. I'm happy with my approach. My approach was effectively this, except I was a little bit more consistent with how I did the bounds detection there. So if you're using math.min, why are you using a ternary operator along with it in order to enforce the lower bounds of it? Hey, human readable time. Write a function which takes a non-negative integer, seconds, as input and returns the time in a human readable format. The maximum time never exceeds 99.9999. Okay, all right. Coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Okay. Let's try this. So we can essentially, we want to get the remainder for each of those sections and then trim off the seconds afterwards. So how do we want to do this? Now, because of the value here, we know we only have to worry about hours, minutes, seconds. We don't have to worry about days or anything after that. So let's start with something. Let's start with the blunt instrument for this. Let's take input. Let's just do that for now. We have int seconds equals input. Do we have a... What does the math have in it? It's in Java Lang. They might have some of the stuff available for us, so we don't have to implement it ourselves. Got supply exact round. Like it. I'm surprised. There's an IEEE remainder. This is going to be working with doubles, we're working with integers. Get the seconds out here. Let's see what we get. Okay, we're also going to start with the formatting on this so we can actually read it. Got something to work with here. Format, we've got 0 to D. I know I don't have these defined yet. Okay. Okay. This will at least compile, so we'll get 0, 0, and then whatever the output is. And this is expected that we would get that failure there. So in order for us to do the remainder of these values, we're kind of slowly incrementing through them. So we've got input minus seconds. Oh, we got 60 there. That's not supposed to happen. Let's think this through. Okay. So make readable 60. We do actually want to, yeah, we're going to need some constants here. Static final int. Okay, so that handles that. We want to subtract the remainder before doing the division, right? I didn't change anything there. We didn't improve it at all. So if we have input, the remainder of input divided by 60, we'll get 0 here. That's fine. But we do want to know how many times it did divide in. Is that what we're doing? I think it... In this case, make readable 60. So input minus, this would be 0 at that point. No, this should be seconds here. The minutes one we use for the hours. Okay, we got a little bit further. We moved a little bit further on. We did get the 59 there. The 143 makes sense because, oh, does it? Does it? I don't know if it does. Okay, so for each of these, we want to take off the remainder. Or do we start trimming down from the hours first? Maybe that's what we end up doing. And hours equals input divided by minutes. So that's going to give us that. And then input needs to be or minus equals input times minutes. Then seconds should really be the input at that point. So let's try hours, minutes, then input. Ooh. Make readable 5. Let's think about this. Oh, this would have gone negative, wouldn't have it? Oh my god, this shouldn't be this hard. This is not a difficult task. Okay, let's think this through a little bit more. Int seconds equals 0. Okay, seconds is the easy one. Input modulo seconds, no problem. We do want, when we're doing the number of minutes, yeah, so I still think we need to kind of go in reverse order here. So how many hours are in 60? So it's the floor of that value. How many are in there? It's input divided by our minutes value there. And then we need to account for that hours in the minute calculation. So if we have 60, so that would be 60 divided by this value, that's going to be less than 1, so therefore hours should be 1. Minutes, we now need to subtract the number of hours we have in seconds format. So input minus hours times minutes. And then we can divide that by seconds. This is still going to be wrong at the end here. Seconds, there we are. There we are, okay, finally figured that out. And so integer division in Java just immediately floors it. It doesn't do any sort of any fancier stuff. Doesn't do any sort of rounding or anything. I feel like there's a better way of doing it. I'm interested to see what other people come up with. Okay, essentially what I did. Yep, okay. That I like. This is a much better way of doing it. Much better way. Leveraging an example, or leveraging like a standard library. Much better way of doing this. Much better way. Yeah. Love that. Great, so I learned about duration. Let's try that again, given that we know about the existence of duration now. So this was in Java time. Java.time. So this was added in 1.8. Okay, so this has been around for a very long time. So that's good. That means that we can actually leverage this. Now there was a 0. That's fine. We can work with that. Add seconds. Plus seconds. That's what we want. Okay. String.format is still going to come into play. Yank that. Bam. Okay. Now what was the, let's see, get. Okay, so we have a get that we can specify that there. Oh, here we are. 2 hours part is what we want. 2 hours part, 2 minutes part, 2 seconds part. Oh, and it doesn't know about time because I didn't import it. Or it doesn't know about duration. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. Oh, in trouble with this one. Oh, because it rolled over. It rolled over. So, 99 minus 24. That's where it's getting the 3 from. So this is the total number of hours and the duration there. Okay, so 2 hours is definitely what I want there, not 2 hours part. And that's because the part, the part will kind of overflow into the highest level approach. This makes way more sense. Cool. I really like that. I learned about java.time. .duration. I knew about Java time. Cool. All right, just take a quick break. Give myself a little bit of time to stretch. I will be back. All right, let's get back at it. We're refreshed, we're rejuvenated, we've got the opportunity to stand. We've got caffeine. Note all the occurring characters in a string. Easy. Easy. Great. We'll create a result to work with. We might be able to get rid of this at some point. New hash map. So let's start with a first pass at this. So, chars dot stream. Get the dot in there at the beginning. Okay, so we need a result.compute. What is it? This is probably what we want here, this merge. If the specified key is not already associated with the value, or is associated with null, it associates with the given non-null value. But they also have a remapping function that we can use here. So this is like an if absent versus if present. So we want to look it up. If it's not present, we put in a 1. And if... Let's see. What's this look like up here? Default implementation is equivalent to perform the following steps for this map. There's the old value. I think that does it. I forgot the initializing parentheses there. Okay, didn't know about the hash map, that's okay. I might need... Okay, let's see what we got here. Line 9, it does not like our for each. It doesn't like the existence of that symbol being present. Seems to really be struggling with that. Java map merge. Here we are. It's the remapping function. Ah, these Fucking pop-ups. No, oh. Right. We're just gonna use O and N. +1. Value of? Maybe. It's either new or value of. I probably value of. Let's take a look at the Java doc for the character. That's going to be in Java Lang. Oh my god, okay. There. Character. Rarely appropriate to use the constructor. Okay. Value of was the call. Solid reference from int to char. Okay, we could. Okay, that's fine. We'll do it the hard way. Value of, and we're just gonna cast it to. I was hoping to use the method reference. Incompatible types. Int cannot be converted into a character. I wonder if this is like key value. Let's think about this. Okay, so we're generating a character for each one of these characters. Don't even need to do this. Okay, let's do this. Let's keep it simple. Let's not overcomplicate this to start. Result dot compute if absent. Let's see, and then I think we just do 1, and then results dot back up here. Let's go back to our compute. Attempts to compute a mapping for the specified key in its current mapped value. So I do want to do this. So I get the key equals value. Ooh. So v plus equals 1. That's probably reducible down to a... What is it complaining about? Oh, is it because it's a freaking integer type? Can I just... Can I do that? Can we do primitives and map types? Cannot. I figured it would handle unboxing. java.lang.integer.html. I'm knocking around my microphone. Integer highest 1 bit. Why is it angry about this? Unexpected type. Fair enough. Okay, I can't use... I have to use object types. Fair enough. No problem. Int cannot be converted to character. It's definitely going to complain about both of those. That's okay, we can just lambda expression. Now, let's see what compute if absent takes. Compute if present, compute if absent. It does take the key. We don't need the parentheses around that because it's a single value. Okay, we at least got something out of it. Now this is because I'm specifying this twice. So I can just compute this value here. B or 0. We can reduce this down. Let's see if it will be nice. I think this will null pointer. Yes. Let's see if it integer.0 exists. I don't know if it does. That might be asking for a lot. Duration.0 makes a lot of sense. Okay, I didn't think so. This will at least unbox. Bad operand types from binary operator. It does not like... Oh, it's expecting to unbox it. Okay, b not equal to null. Let's just do that. If it's not equal to null, increase it. Illegal start of expression. V plus equals 1. That's single character. I feel like we can do better than that. There's probably a better mapping function that does convert it into something we could probably... That is one-lineable, I feel. character string.toChar_array. This probably would have been a better thing to iterate over rather than chars. Chars gives us the stream, but it's an int stream. ToMap. I like that. Yeah, the collectors.toMap seems like a good option there. So it gives functions for each of the values and then something to sum them up with afterwards. Here, yeah, that's getting a little long. Okay. Map to object is kind of an interesting one. I don't know how I feel. Yeah, I guess I do need to do that. Let's see if we can use the toChar_array. I like that because I wonder if we can eliminate this map to object. So if we look at string toChar_array literally gives us a character array. So we could use arrays.stream. So we want import java.util.arrays. We've got a stream for those. Now there was a collect. Let's see, we got java.util.conc. Now we want java.util.stream. Collection here. Find this package here though. Collectors or something like that, isn't it? Collectors. Okay. Collectors. We have to import this. Import java.util.stream. Okay, so the key mapper, a value mapper. We've got K will just map to K. Value will map to 1. There's a merging function here. Let's see if there's a sum. Or is it's really a count that we want. Count. this. What we got here? Java util stream. Let's take a look here. We've got a there's no count. There's an integer sum. Maybe we use integer sum. Let's see where this gets us. So we're streaming the character array. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so maybe we do actually have to do the object conversion. Okay. I'm just gonna take a quick bio break. Hang tight. We'll finish this one up. How do we deal with the fact this is a string.to character array? Let's just double check how that functions. Char array should give us a literal array of characters. Now it looks like array.stream doesn't support character arrays. Just checking something while we're... Okay, I have to fix that for later. I have this gold bar. And it seems to be kind of working. that doesn't hide and show, as one would expect. Because I've changed scenes. Edom was clearly not designed for this. That is unfortunate. Okay, let's get this working. Character sequence. I wonder if we use character sequence. Is this streamable? Still gives us the int stream, and I really wish it didn't. Really doesn't like the character array. Problematic. Actually curious about how some of these other ones were done then. Charles was still doing the int stream. Okay. Okay, yeah, so it looks like there might just have to live with the int stream for this. That map to object. This at least does the collection properly. Yeah. I really wish I didn't have to do this, but I do have to kind of force the cast to the character. So I suppose that's like kind of valid. Feels a little dirty, but this one's nice and clear. This one I think requires a little bit of documentation. Either way, we got there. All right, next. Is enough. Delete occurrences of an element if it occurs more than n times. It's the fun of seeing the Eiffel Tower 47. I feel you. Okay, given a list and a number, create a new list that contains each number of list at most n times without reordering. For example, if the input number is 2 and the input list is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, okay, so 1 and 2 should go away. Okay, yep, drop the next one too, which is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We get 20, 37, 21, which is okay. This makes sense. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna again work with streams. Import, that's a new one. Arrays.stream. Let's I can do that. Will it downgrade it? I don't even need to use that. Okay, so test failed, but code compiles. The important one. So how do we do this? So we need to we need a count off on the side. We don't need to. We could rip through it each time, but I think we want to kind of have a map over on the side. Integer counts equals new hash map. Need to import that. Just need to bring in map as well, don't I? So I think we need to just loop over each one. Let's see. So we can do a counts.compute if absent for the element. We're just gonna populate the value. Actually, I think if we use a compute, then we get this isn't going to do the filtering, so I think we actually need to put this in as part of a filter. Yeah. So that will be the filter. We'll return counts.get get the element, and this needs to be less than or equal to the max occurrences. How far does that get us? Add operand types for the binary operator. But it's an integer. It should unbox. Acquired an integer, which it has. Integer and it should handle the unboxing there. I suppose we could map to object. See if that gets us any further. So that's it. Smart enough to figure that one out. Back over into our compute here. This is in the stream summary here, so we need a stream object. Let's just match the case and make it easier on us. I suppose you can use the int stream. What take while returns if the stream is already a stream consisting of the longest prefix of elements taken from the stream that match the given predicate. bet you there's something that we could do in here. Either way, we're going to use the map compute instead. Till I think this is defined in here. Compute. Here we are. Okay, so it just runs each time. I definitely mixed up this second parameter here. Okay, so if the value is not equal to null, then we increment by 1. Otherwise, we set the value to 1. So I don't need map to object here. It should figure that out. It should do the unboxing, or I guess in this case, the boxing of it. Feels a little dirty doing this like inline update on the filter. Doesn't feel great. But what do we have here? Let's see what people are doing here. Get or default is an interesting way of doing that. Yep, that would also work. Recurrence.merge. Yeah, this realistically was probably what I was going for instead. I like that approach. Because we're working specifically with integers. We have an int array, we can use int stream. I do like that instead. But they are using the same concept of having an external map to track some of that. It looks like that is a consistent theme here. I'm not seeing any sort of way of getting around that. List used int. Yeah. Oh, that's a long way of doing it. Yeah, I think this is how I would prefer to have done it. Using the int stream rather than just array.stream. Filter, this is much cleaner than what I did. Let's retry that. Stream.int stream. We could say int stream of elements. We do need to bring in that map to work with. Okay, so we have our external counter. So we'll have counts.merge. Just double check the merge function. We get the value. So if the specified key is not already associated with the value, associate with the given non-null value. Otherwise replaces it with this mapping function. Now this returns the value. I like it. That is much cleaner. Great. Mucho better. Right. Let's get that submitted. Fibonacci, what is this? Summing the last 3 instead of the last 2 numbers. Okay. Let's try this. It looks like there's a different one here that we can try a little bit later, which is a more generic version. Let's try this one. Okay, so the Fibonacci works like a Fibonacci, but summing the last 3 instead of the last 2 numbers to generate the next. So it takes an incoming signature, rename those to be a little bit clearer. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is not an iteration count, it's the final length. I'll find a use for streams every single time. Here, range. Okay, so definitely there's a trade-off here between okay, how do we do this? Okay. There's a substring that we ran into before that we can use. See that. Take a look at the stream type itself. Let's see. No. What the hell are we using here? Okay. We're looking at Java util.stream maybe. our arrays. What we got here? Okay, so we can use a stream to kind of some of this stuff. I realize that now that I'm used to streams, everything looks like a stream. But this arrays.stream lets us kind of do a sub range. So we can do this. List double results equals new array list. Okay. Results dot add. We're going to have a calculation method that's going to take the results and say how far back we need to go. Just going to put that as a final and look back. And we need to populate this first. Assuming array list has an of, or it takes an array to array. Here we are. I was expecting that to be static though. Returns an array containing all the elements in the list in proper sequence. The runtime type is that of a specified array. So that's not what I want. As list is what I want. Okay. Arrays.asList. Okay. So we've got our initial list here. Private double calc. So we have arrays dot stream values, and then we need to start inclusive, end exclusive. So the end exclusive will be the size of our array list. And then we need to go the size of our array list minus the look back. And then we need to, let's see, collect, and it's probably double stream sum. think that should do it. Okay. Bounds. Arrays.as list did not work how I expected it to. It's not wanted. As list. Based and collection-based APIs, as lists, integer array numbers equals something, arrays to as list numbers. This should work. This should. Maybe because it's not a. Can I just change the method signature? Is it going to let me do that? Nope, no, it's not. That's okay. We can. Let's see. Arrays.stream signature dot map to object. See if that gets us. Object array cannot be converted to double. Okay. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Oh. Return. I was missing a return statement there, so that's definitely going to cause a problem. No suitable method found for stream list double and int. Let's take a look at the arrays.stream again. It is expecting, okay. It's expecting a primitive array, not a list of arrays. Take a look at the list here and see if this gives us a substring to work with here. We can use the sub list. This might be the way to do it. So we can say return values.sublist. Now this takes a from index and to index, so it's an inclusive and exclusive. So these values are all the fine. And because it's a list already, we don't need to use arrays.stream. We can just say .stream and then collect it. This still probably won't pass. See if it's smart enough to recognize that it's a double stream. It is not. actually have a double stream that we can work with. So we probably want to reduce rather than a collect. A mutable reduction operation on the elements of the stream. It's not really what I want. So this gives us reducing we still need a 0 there, it looks like. The 0D a thing? I don't remember. Seems like it is. Let's see, I probably need a collector here at the end. Now, why does it think that this is a... Make that that. Just double check that we're doing this correct. So Java sum array or stream of double. This is an option here. Stream.sum with objects, which is what we do have. Okay, so this is essentially what I'm doing already. 0, so I went 0D for it to be recognized as a double, and then double.sum. That all makes sense. I do reduced, yeah, okay. Yeah, I do like that. I prefer that. Okay. Now, in terms of collecting these values down, I didn't think I needed to do this, but let's take a look at the, so we've got toArray, which gives us an object, which is not really what I want, but I can use double array new in order to enforce that. Ooh, that's not what I want. That does the calculation. Shouldn't need to do that, right? List.double should... Okay, let's take a look at the list. Here. List. We've got to have. Literally there. ToArray will always return that. Okay. Compatible types. Variable t has incompatible bounds. Is it complaining? Incompatible types. T extends object declared method to array int function. Let's see. The return type is of the returned array is that of the specified array, which I thought I did. The list fits in is returned therein. Otherwise, a new array is allocated with the run type. Okay. I mean, maybe I can just like actively declare it like that. Bounds. I don't understand what this means. Inference variable t has incompatible bounds. Okay. You know what? We're just going to go double stream we got here. Double stream.of takes a bunch of double values, which is not what we want. The box gives me that. It is a boxed value, which I don't really want to do. I just say results.stream.toArray or something like that. Yeah, let's try that. Get there. Oh, this is... I need to reduce this down to a primitive value. You do a flat map to double. Probably gonna get angry that this is... Yeah, so let's go map. See if I can reduce that down to a primitive value first. I don't know what's going on here. Feeling rusty. Turns a double stream consisting of the applying. Okay. And it does give me an output of primitive. So let's go to double. See how far that gets us. This might still return an unsupported operation. Line 14. It fails to add on to it because this is a list that cannot grow. So let's take a look at the stream class again. View list. Unmodifiable. Damn. Okay. This is correctable, though. Okay. So we'll take the signature, we'll map it in here. Do I even need... Let's go for each results add. I think it should figure that reference out. Oh, it was too long. So we're gonna subtract the length of the signature. And it is not a method, it is a property because it's a primitive array. Okay. Scuffed, but we got there. So create a new list to store the results of the array. Add each of the signature values in. Loop over the remaining values and add the required values in based on looking back at the previous values. And then this was a little bit nasty to figure out. Okay, expected length 1, actual length was 3. Ah. Lengths different. Expected length equals 1. Actual length was 3. Arrays different element 1. Expected end of array was 1. Okay. We get to see the basic test. We do not. What's it say about... Excuse me. Okay, so if n equals 0, then return an empty array. We do kind of want to reduce this down based on... This should never be longer than the final length. So can we truncate the value to final length afterwards? Is that doable? Let's just take a look at the list definition here. We could always do a sublist. Let's see. For now, let's just try sticking the sublist on here. And feels like why bother doing the calculation if we've already exceeded that, but it does pass. I am kind of curious to see what other people are doing here. I feel like that could have been done better. Okay, so what do we got here? Fibonacci, we do a copy of the inputted array into, or copy a certain length of this. Oh. Okay, simple. Oh, that's hard to read. So this is all fine, except it's not portable to this, at least to our design. Now this is going back. Apply sequence rule. I think our implementation is going to work for the other one straight out of the gate. Let's grab this past solution here. I think this is going to work. Ooh. I just think of a quad, 4 elements, following pent. You have to build an X, take a signature of X elements. Remember, each next element is the sum of the last X elements. Okay, so we're basing it off of the size of the inputted signature. So this look back is going to be signature.length. How far does this get us? Okay, that's all fine. Ah, yes, I forgot my my imports. Java.util.list. We've got array list as well. We need our int stream. We don't need the list there. I think that's... Oh, we need arrays. How far does this get us? There we are. Ooh. the difference here? 29330747154 807. Okay. Come on. So these are all double values, but like, I agree that 10 issues reported seems yeah, there's some rounding errors with this one. So at the very least, I can probably, let's change this to does double have a round on it? Please tell me there's a maybe there's a math dot round. Math. Let's see what we got here. It takes a primitive double, so it should unbox that. Why is it? Oh, that's weird. Okay, let's find the double object again and see if we can adjust this. Double value, value, parse double to string value of, no. Okay. I mean, part of me is kind of thinking this is hashtag not my problem. There's definitely like a minor rounding error somewhere in here. And because these probably shouldn't have used doubles in the first place for this. None of this is ever using decimal values here. So I could do a math.round and then cast it back to a double. Like it's jank. Expected 0.5? Really? Yikes. Okay. This is actually just a janky test. I'm going to argue that this is... Yeah, there's definitely some rounding issues with this. The fact that there's 10 issues reported is a bad sign. So I'd say technically working in this case. Oh, I managed to actually get it that time. Random tests. Not very satisfied with that one. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to call it. I've been going for almost 3 hours here, so I think it's time for me to get up and do something else with my day. Feeling a little rusty, but we're getting the rust off. Feeling a little better about it. Thank you all very much for tuning in today. I'm hoping to do some more of these during the week while I'm off work, and yeah, we'll get back into things and get back with my regular Saturday streams for programming as well. Still figuring out where I want to stream at this point. I've been doing Twitch for a while, but I would kind of like to get to the point where I am streaming on YouTube instead. And I've got 2 separate channels there, one for playing games over at BT Plays Games _ because the other one was taken. Yeah, we'll get back into the stream of things. So thank you all very much for tuning in. We will see you next time. Adios.